Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Natural Hair and True Crime. That was absolutely horrible. But now, what is going on, you guys, and welcome back. If you guys are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jataia, and here on my channel, I give you guys natural hair content. I do wig reviews, and I also discuss true crime cases while doing my natural hair. So if you are interested in any of those that I just listed, I do recommend that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell. That way you can always be updated when I am posting another video. Okay, y'all. In today's video, as you already know by the title, we are going to be discussing the case of Angela Simpson. So I know a lot of y'all have heard of this case. I know y'all probably are well known with this case, especially with the famous interview video that is on YouTube. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And y'all, I'm just now realizing this case is a thing. Like, I feel like I was familiar with the case. I was definitely not familiar with the interview video that's on YouTube. So yeah, I saw this and I was just like, I have to talk about this because this is insane. But yeah, so that is what I'm going to be talking about today: the case of Angela Simpson, and of course the murder of Terry Neely. And just a little background on the case if you aren't familiar with it, just to see if you might be interested in listening to the story. So I mean, you basically have this woman, a sex worker, works in Phoenix, Arizona. She's a drug addict, has mental issues, basically tortures this handicapped man for literally 3 days. And when I say torture, y'all, I'm talking about, you know, like those movies like Saw, you know, Saw type torture. It seems like, okay, like, yeah, it's that crazy. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be discussing today. So I definitely recommend you stay tuned because we got a case today, okay? I'm just gonna say that. All jokes aside, seriously though, yeah, I don't know. Even though I'd be excited, I just have to like come back to reality and realize like you're literally doing your hair and talking about someone being murdered. Like, you gotta chill, okay? I'm sorry, but yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be talking about today. So of course, stay tuned if you are interested. And yeah, let me go ahead and stop talking because I seem to do that a lot. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into this video. Okay, y'all, so as y'all can see, I'm looking like all types of struggle right now, okay? I've been rocking my mini twist for the past week and a half now, and it's definitely time for a refresher. So I'm probably going to keep these in a few more days, and then probably, I don't know, maybe my next video I might take them down or something. But yeah, these are definitely old. Y'all, it's actually crazy because I ended up having an allergic reaction to 2 new products that I use, and I used them together even though I hadn't used either one of the products. But it's weird because I've used different products from those same brands. So I don't know if it was just a combination together caused me to have an allergic reaction. But yeah, so I did some twists and I ended up having to like wash it out and like retwist these, and I didn't put gel on them. So I feel like that's why they got like frizzy really quick. But yeah, so I'm just going to be basically refreshing my hair, spraying water on them. I'm thinking about retwisting some of these in the front and maybe some in the back. But I'm definitely not going to do my whole head because it takes me damn near like 3 hours just to do these. But yeah, I'm just going to be spraying it with water, and I'm probably just going to be putting one product on it. Y'all already know about this product that I be using, the Main Choice. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, the Main Choice Pearly Braid Out Glaze, y'all. When I tell y'all this is good, I use this for wash and goes, twist outs, braid outs, all that good jazz. So yeah, definitely recommend that. But yeah, so we are gonna go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so today's case is taking place in the location of Phoenix, Arizona in 2009. And we are gonna go ahead and discuss Angela. Good old Angie. Well, not so good, but yeah. So y'all, I'm gonna just go ahead and give y'all a mini disclaimer. I'm doing my research on this case, right? And you know how you do your research and you really can't find a lot of research, I guess you can say. Well, as far as their background information and like, you know, upbringing and childhood, things of that nature, and just their life in general besides what they show you. So yeah, I wasn't able to find a lot of information on Angela's childhood or actually even who her family is. Literally, there's not a lot of information on that, and Angela herself basically refuses to talk about it and discuss it. So yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and get into what I do know and what we already kind of know. So what I do know of Angela is that she was born November 29th of 1975. What I do know as far as Angela's childhood, it was stated that Angela, since the age of 10, had dealt with different and multiple mental disorders. Let's go ahead and fast forward to Angela's adult life. According to Angela and reports, of course, there's not a lot of information, but it does state that some of her family was in and out of jail throughout her lifetime, and that was just a part of her family. So it just makes sense that Angela went down the same path. So cause I don't know if her mom was necessarily, I don't know if her mom or dad or both were like in and out of prison, but yeah, it stems from somewhere. But yeah, so throughout her life she was in and out of prison. Now unfortunately, Angela took up a bad habit in doing drugs. And y'all know how that go when you got mental disorders and you start taking drugs. Yeah. You know how that can transpire, I guess. But yeah, so now as Angela got into her adult life, she actually began to get into quite a lot of trouble, I want to say. So Angela, she started committing crimes. Now, y'all, when I say sis has quite the rap sheet, she has just that. So just like her family, Angela was in and out of prison for multiple different reasons: robbery, aggravated assault, carjacking, what else? Trespassing. I mean, like I say, sis, she got a rap sheet on her, okay? She's obviously not a dang rookie, okay? So she's in and out of prison, and eventually Angela ends up getting into sex work. Now, y'all know, of course, with doing drugs, it can get expensive. So Angela needed some way to be able to pay her bills and continue her drug habit. So, of course, that's why she started to prostitute, you might as well say. But yeah, she started to do sex work. Of course, so she stayed in the Phoenix area, I'm assuming. And from that, she began to build a clientele. So one of her regular clients happened to be a man by the name of Terry Neely. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into a little background on Terry. So just like Angela, there's not really, honestly, a lot of information on Terry, and honestly it doesn't say if he has any family, brothers or sister, or literally anything. So sorry guys if you were wanting some background information on the victim. Yeah, there's not a lot of it, unfortunately. But what I do know is he was born October 21st of 1962, and honestly not a single thing as far as his childhood or anything. But what we do know is Terry was paraplegic. It doesn't necessarily state if he was born that way or like what happened that caused him to be paraplegic. He could walk, but not for extended amounts of time. So basically he was bound to a wheelchair. Now, he's actually also staying in a facility. Yeah, a care facility. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, so he stayed in a care facility. And actually, what we do know of Terry, he kind of also has some things in common with Angela. So Terry also had some mental issues going on, probably not as serious as Angela, but it was said that he was, I guess, kind of slow. He was a drug addict as well. He also had been to prison a few times. And like I said, he was one of Angela's sex clients. Yeah, so Terry was one of Angela's regulars. And according to, witnesses and neighbors, they also would witness Terry and Angela, like, doing drugs in the car. So, yeah. But long story short, they were seen together, and they weren't friends. But of course, as I guess you can say, it was business purposes. But yeah, so they known each other. Now, so we're gonna go ahead and fast forward to August 5th of 2009. So firefighters end up getting a call around 5 in the morning about a trash can behind a church being on fire. So the firefighters, they're assuming kids are just like, you know, being kids and putting shit on fire, or, you know, somebody just threw a cigarette in there and possibly, you know, didn't know it was gonna catch on fire and probably just dipped once they realized that it was on fire. So they go out and respond, and they go out to the church, see the trash can that's on fire, and puts it out. Cool. So as they're putting out this fire, they realize they were completely wrong. And unfortunately, what they discovered was definitely not what they were expecting to see, especially at 5 in the morning. But yeah, so as they are putting out the fire, they look in the trash can and they find human remains of a man. Firefighters immediately call police on scene so they can investigate and figure out what's going on. So they investigate this. Now, unfortunately, at this time, they have not identified the body, obviously, because it was in a trash can that was once set on fire. But they do realize that this has turned into a homicide real quick. Autopsy is ran on the body. Now, y'all, when I say they almost was not able to identify who this person was, and they were almost like SOL, not gonna lie. So they do an autopsy. Unfortunately, they were not able to identify the body by the teeth because the teeth were missing. Yeah. And the body was so badly just like damaged, and due to extreme burns, of course, they weren't able to identify it by that way as well. The only way they were actually able to identify the body is because of fingerprints. And they almost did not get that, but luckily they finally were able to get a match on the fingerprints, and it comes back to show that the victim is unfortunately Terry Neely, of course, as y'all could already guess. Now, the reason why it took so long for them to identify, of course, like I said, the body was so badly damaged, but also for some reason, the living facility that Terry was at did not report him missing. So finally, they know who the victim is, and they immediately go into questioning and asking questions on what could have happened. You know, at first, you know, it was a lot of people didn't have a lot of information on what went down, but as police and investigators begin to go around the neighborhood in the city that Terry was at, they begin to ask different witnesses and people. Now, mind you, Terry is according to witnesses, Terry is very friendly, easygoing, laid back, you know, chill. So when he wouldn't have too many people that were trying to kill him, you wouldn't think, at least. So they're asking people, you know, when was the last time they seen Terry? And if so, was he with someone? So fortunately, quite a few people begin to talk and just explain that Terry used to have a friend that he would go hang out with, or actually would be seen with. Of course, when police asked, you know, who this person was, only one name seemed to be popping up: Angela Simpson. So let's go ahead and get into good old Angie. So they go ahead and try to find Angela so they can question her about Terry's murder. Now, fortunately, it was not hard at all to find her, considering she was already locked up on a armed robbery charge. Boy, yeah. When I tell y'all, this lady is busy, okay? Yeah, so they go to question Angela, and Angela nonchalantly admits to the murder. Basically is laughing like, yeah, she did it. Goes into what went down, what happened, how she did it. So once she confesses, to make a long story short, she confesses to killing Terry. She confesses to leading him up to this apartment that she had, I guess, apparently vacant just to kill him. She led him up to the apartment, lied and said that she was going to give him sex for free and that they could do drugs. So of course Terry was like, you know, yeah. And she invited him, lured him into this apartment and tortured him for 3 days and killed him. Then chopped him up and threw him. And, you know, that's, here we are with the remains in the trash can. But yeah, so police, they get this and they go ahead and go to this apartment that Angela claimed that she killed Terry at. Now, I'm sorry, let me backtrack, y'all. So mind y'all, once police figured out, you know, Terry was the victim, and they figured out that he was paraplegic and he was bound to a wheelchair, they started trying to look for this wheelchair. Okay. So once Angela confesses to the murder, they show up at this apartment, and literally as they pull up to the apartment, they notice a motorized wheelchair on the grass. So after seeing that, they automatically go ahead and get a warrant to search the apartment. Now, once they enter the apartment, they see a chair and a full body mirror. I'm assuming in the living room. They also noticed that the carpet is torn up. When they found a pair of nose pliers, a gallon of great value bleach, and then there's literally blood everywhere. So with that right there, they're like, okay, yeah, this chick's, she's not lying. Obviously something happened here. And so going back to Angela, now y'all, this is where shit gets crazy. I'm just gonna say that. She goes into detail about what went down, how it happened. So going back to August 5th of 2009, so Angela's plan, of course, was to kill Terry. Now, how she did it, when she contacted Terry up and invited him to the apartment for sex and to do drugs. So, of course, Terry, he agrees. Actually, around 8 p.m. that night, footage from the living facility shows Terry leaving at 8 p.m. or around 8 p.m. on August 5th. Terry gets to the apartment, and according to Angela, he actually walks up to the apartment because the apartment was on the second floor. So he walks up to the apartment. Now this whole time, you know, she's giving that persona that, you know, they're good friends or they cool. They're gonna have sex and do drugs and just have a good old time. And literally as soon as they walk into the apartment, I mean, Angela flips the script, okay? According to her, she tells him that they are not friends. She hates him. She can't stand him. So then she takes a tire iron and bash him over the head and just continues to bash him. He was still conscious, but obviously Terry is bleeding everywhere. And y'all, honestly, it just gets just crazy from there. Basically, she has this man watch himself be tortured. I mean, it's absolutely insane. But yeah, so she takes the pliers and she's literally one by one taking Terry's teeth out, like breaking them out, snatching them out, all of that. She stabs him 50 times with different blunt force objects, I'm assuming, because it said it was different. Yeah, it was different objects. It wasn't just one knife. So she was just stabbing him with anything, I'm assuming. She's continuing to beat him over the head, and y'all get this. And you think after this he would, like, you know, be dead. So she takes a 3-inch nail and hammers it into his skull right in the center. Okay. It says she tortured him for 3 days. So I don't know if when each thing happened, it doesn't really specify on that. But I do know, like I say, it happened. I just don't know if it happened on the very first day or, you know, the last day or whatever. But yeah, so she got the nail, hammers it into his skull. Then she takes a knife and she slits his throat. But she doesn't slit it deep enough to kill him, but definitely to cause pain. So yeah. So literally for 3 days, she tortures this man. Even with all of that going on, and this is absolutely crazy and insane, and just shows like that he was literally had to be alive to endure all of this. The cause of death, according to autopsy, was strangulation with a, I think it said TV wire, but a electric wire or whatever you call it. What I'm assuming, after she got tired and bored of torturing him, she then strangled him to death with a TV wire. When she's done with that, she chops up his body, and I want to say she hit up one of her friends to borrow his car, which I'll get to him a little bit later. But yeah, so she borrowed this friend's car, drove, I'm assuming, I guess she was driving somewhere to dump the body, and decided to dump the body in a trash can behind the church, lit the trash can on fire, and literally walked off. Yeah. Yeah, so, and that is what went down. So that's what happened. That is what she told police. So now police have their confession. As the autopsy comes back, basically everything that she confessed to, like, literally matched up with the findings in the autopsy. So when the autopsy was ran, of course, it found the blunt force trauma to Terry's head. It found, oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but when they found the body, they also, it still had the wire around his neck. So, of course, that matched up. He had 50 stab wounds, of course, with different objects. He was missing his teeth. I mean, yeah. Obviously, now they have their woman, and now they're finna go ahead and go forward with trying to do this trial process. Every time, you question somebody, you have to ask, what was the reason for it? Like, what caused you to go to this extreme to kill this man? Now, I'm pretty sure some of y'all already, like I said, y'all have already seen, I'm pretty sure that in the interview with Angela, the famous interview, so y'all already know, and y'all probably already read up on this case. But for those of you who do not know, and this is your first time actually hearing about this, they asked her, why did she kill him? And she said, because he was a snitch. That's it. Like literally, that's it. She said that he told her that he was a snitch and he was actually an informant for the CIA, and he had actually caused a lot of people to go to prison from him snitching. And I guess he was bragging about this to Angela. So Angela's like, she's not wanting to hear this. And she's telling the police, like, she absolutely hates snitches. And according to her, like, snitching is the equivalent to a pedophile. Yeah. And she just cannot stand him, and he needed to be taken care of. She also claimed, like, I guess that she was getting justice for the people that he snitched on. But y'all, my thing is, she didn't even know these people. Like, I mean, it might have been a little bit more understanding if she knew the people, but she doesn't know them. But yeah, well, finally, Angela is charged with the murder of Terry Neely. And on March 29th of 2012, she is sentenced to natural life in prison. And actually on April 2nd of 2012, she is sentenced to an additional 14 years for the armed robbery that she was actually in jail for before they questioned her about the murder of Terry Neely. So yeah. So she is locked the fuck up. And yeah, they done literally threw away the key. Just getting into what happened and literally everything that Terry had to endure while in the hands of Angela Simpson. And you simply think of what I've just said and what all that happened, that there's no way he would have even, especially if all of this had happened on the first day. That's why I'm thinking all of it didn't, that he would survive just by slitting his throat and driving a nail, a 3-inch nail at that, through his skull. There's no way he would have survived that. But it was in fact said, and it was actually a fact, that he was alive while all of that happened. How I know is, according to the autopsy report, when they were, reviewing the body, it showed very early signs of healing process. Of course, if his body went into the early stages of healing, that automatically means that he was still alive when all of that went down. And it also proved and showed that he died from strangulation. Like I just said, this man literally had to endure 3 days of pure hell. I don't know. It gives me chills just thinking about it, having to endure that pain for 72 hours. I mean, it's already fucked up to have to endure it for an hour, and not, or even 10 minutes of pain, but 3 straight days of torture. I mean, it just don't seem, it seems like it just can't get no sicker than that. You feel me? I'm not understanding. I don't know, it's But like, we're gonna go ahead and get back into like the reasoning for it. What was the reason? So of course she said, because he snitched. He was a snitch and she needed to take care of him and get him out the way because she don't like snitches. And according to her, he was just telling all his business about who he snitched on and how it caused him to stay in prison or go to prison, etc. Now, so do y'all know that, okay, she stated that, claimed that or whatever, that's cool and fine. Y'all realize, according to police and CIA or whoever, that Terry was never an informant. He never snitched. She never worked with the police on anything. So, legit, honestly, she basically killed this man for no reason at all. The only question I have is, was he lying or was she lying? Like, was he lying about being a snitch? Which even then, like, why would somebody lie about being like who would want to snitch and tell? And like, I don't know, that just doesn't make sense. I can't see nobody telling that they're a snitch. Like, why? What reason would you have to do that? Now, her lying about it, I say that sounds more believable. But like I say, I mean, he could have lied. Like, we honestly will never know. And we can't ask her because we honestly don't know if she's going to tell the truth or not, And honestly, one of the theories that I'm thinking, what if like something went down where he maybe threatened her? He probably knew too much and he threatened to snitch on her, and that's why she took care of him. Possibly, because I mean, that would make more sense, that he was about to snitch, but not that he was a snitch. That's one theory. Another theory is, honestly, I mean, like I said before, y'all know anything dealing with mental issues and drugs, y'all know that ain't going together. So I don't know if, and like I say, she had been in mental facilities since 10 years old. So she's had this problem and was diagnosed with multiple, not just one, but multiple mental disorders at the age of 10. And then just over the years, just continuing to do drugs. I mean, I just feel like that did not help at all. So, yeah, I feel like that possibly could have been a very strong possibility or reason why she just killed this man. Because honestly, we know now that, I mean, the man died for no reason. He wasn't a snitch. It was already stated that. So I mean, he was killed for nothing. Y'all comment down below, honestly, because I'm just thinking, like, because just killing a person because they a snitch, and better yet, you said that you don't even know the people that he snitched on personally. I'm sorry, that what, like, what? But yeah, so okay, now that I have gotten all of that out the way, let's go ahead and talk about this damn interview. Y'all, I already know that's what y'all been waiting on. That's what I have been waiting on to talk about, because what the fuck? Okay. So I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have already seen the famous interview of Angela Simpson. If not, I would definitely make sure to link it down below, because honey, that was quite the interview. Like I said in last week's video with the little interrogation with Jerry Murray, I'm pretty sure her confession was up in that top 10 too, okay, of easiest confessions and just not being remorseful. And honestly, I know I keep mentioning the case from last week. By the way, if you haven't checked that video out, make sure that you go ahead and watch that video, because that was a crazy case as well. And I'll make sure to link that video in the description box, as well as put it up here. And yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, so just like with the Jerry Murray case, I mean, when she's accepted, she's in an interview, she's already confessed and everything, and then she's I think at this time when she did this interview, she was like still, I think, in jail. So, but she was finna transfer to the prison that she was going to be at. So yeah, she's having an interview. She's confessing a whole lot more different in her personality, and you know, she's a whole lot different, but still, as far as the same characteristics, as far as being remorseful, being sorry, having any ounce of humanity in you for doing this. Nah. He's asking different questions, and y'all, I hate to laugh, but honestly, when I first watched the interrogation, not interrogation, just when I first watched the interview, I'm not gonna lie, it was funny to me. But not funny because of what she did. It's just funny how she was explaining it. Like, it was just a conversation. So, like, literally what she was saying, you know, he's asking these questions, and he's just like, you know, you're not remorseful at all. And she's just like, of course not. Why would he? And all this and that. And he basically asks her, you know, what happened? And she's just like, what she says is, and how she said it, that's what's funny. I mean, not the interview itself, that's not funny, but just how she says it. And she's just like, oh, I did this. And like I said, you know, Terry, he was wheelchair bound. She's just like, when I walked him up to my apartment, I don't know why the media acts like the motherfucker couldn't walk. He walked very well. And I'm just like, and she literally said that. And when I saw that part, I'm like, huh? I was like, damn, bitch, okay. Shit. Well, explain it then. I mean, just, I don't know. And Lord bless that damn guy interviewing her. He probably, Lord knows what the hell he was thinking. I know I probably been like, get me away from this bitch. Okay. But yeah, so he asked her, well, do you feel like it was justice? And y'all, it's crazy as hell, because like going back to the Jerry case, she was like, no. And he asked, why not? And she was like, I should have got the death penalty. Y'all, this, I don't know. And he was like, oh, so you wanted the death penalty? She was like, no, I'm happy I didn't get it, but I should have got it. That would have been justice. And she basically, the interviewer's like, oh, you know, an eye for an eye, right? And she was like, yeah. And I'm just like, it's crazy how I know they have mental issues, but they know enough to know they did this crime and what to expect from it. It's just crazy, you know? So she's like, she should have got the death penalty, but she glad she didn't. And then she actually kind of goes into a little bit. She explains, you know, how at the age of 10, she was diagnosed with the different mental disorders, going into that. And then she actually, you know, he asks about her family, and she really didn't say much on her family. All she stated was she had 4 children. And he, you know, he tried to go into that, but she basically shut it down and just said, I don't want to talk about it. So yeah, I'm assuming, you know, I guess throughout her, you know, doing sex work, she just ended up getting pregnant and just having kids. and I'm assuming just giving them away, or probably giving them up for adoption. But yeah, so you know, they in the interview, and the dude asks her like, so what if he wasn't a snitch? You know, talking about Terry, and y'all, and tell me why this woman responds and says, well, oops, if he wasn't. Like, y'all, so nonchalantly. And then she was like smiling. Ooh, child, these killers, they something different. They a whole nother breed or something, cause Jesus. But y'all, even though this was in 2009, but just that's scary. And eventually he ends the interview, or she ends it technically, and y'all, when you watch it, make sure to pay attention to the very end of the video and how she acts, like how she was when she was doing the interview, and then after, and like how her whole demeanor, like her personality just changed. How she was just this bubbly person. Like, you can definitely tell it's some mental disorders somewhere, like maybe even split personality, something. It was scary. It was crazy as hell. And then she was just like, good shit, dude, you know, at the end of the interview, and just like, make sure it looks good, you know. I'm sorry, this is not funny. It's just like, I don't know, y'all. I can understand why the interview is so famous on YouTube, because, and I, mind you, I have never even, well, I've heard of it, but I haven't like researched it like deep enough to really like know, and I hadn't seen the interview. But when I seen that interview, I was just like, man, I gotta talk about this, because what like, and you know, the crazy part is this interview is so famous that, you know, people are like reenacting some of the parts that were said in the interview by Angela. Like, if you actually go on TikTok, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure y'all have already seen it, but for those of you who haven't, there's actually people who are going on TikTok and like literally like reenacting the interview, well, different parts of it. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I can't say that I condone that, honestly, because we still have to realize that this is a serious case. This is real life. This is a case that legit happened. Like, she legit tortured this man, killed him, chopped him up, and like set him on fire. Like, this is real. This is, I mean, that's something you don't joke about, you know. I would not, I don't know, that's just me, because even though he didn't have a lot of family, but just to think, what if he did, and then that person goes on TikTok and scrolling TikTok to see people reenacting the damn interview of this woman literally showing no remorse and just explaining how she doesn't care. That is crazy. Oh yeah, and a whole nother part in the freaking interview was, which is like crazy. Like, y'all, I'm telling y'all, watch this interview. Just watch it. It's, yeah. And so the interviewer, he's asking, like, you know, if she could go back, would she do something differently? Why this woman gonna say she would have kept this man for a week instead of 3 days? And the interviewer, which I know he was probably confused, he was like, you would have kept him for a week? And she was like, I would have tortured him for a week. I'm thinking this woman finna say, you know, I wouldn't have done that. I probably would have, you know, just took a breather and take a step back. No, this motherfucker said she would have kept him. She would have kept him for 4 more days, y'all. What possibly can you do? Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me backtrack. I know I'm always having to backtrack because my ass be forgetting shit. So apparently she wasn't I'm not gonna say she was not acting alone. So when she went, like I said, when she went to go drop off her car, she borrowed her car from a friend. So she had a friend, I guess, that, I don't know, she probably did drugs with, to her, who fucking knows. But yeah, she had a friend named Edward McFarland, apparently, whose car she borrowed to like dump Terry's body. So this dummy, apparently he was bragging that how he helped her, I guess, to kill Terry and then to get rid of the body. But apparently, according to Angela, that wasn't the case at all. She didn't have any help. All he literally did was give her the car so she could go ahead and dispose of the body. He ended up was being arrested as well, but for one, he was arrested with her in the armed robbery case that they were already in jail for. But y'all, first of all, look at this damn fool. So if you're wondering why he has cracker across his damn neck, that's apparently that was his nickname, and that's I guess that's what they were calling him in the streets. So yeah, I mean this man done got it tattooed across his neck. Okay. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I've seen this photo before, maybe in like top worst tattoos. I might be wrong, but I don't know. I don't know. It looks familiar though. So he claims that he helped with the murder, but that was the case, and he snitched in order, I guess, to try to get a lesser sentence. But some reason, y'all, and this is what don't fucking make sense. I swear to God, I'm just like, what? But yeah, so she actually explained and talked about this and how he like ratted her out in the interview. And you know, the interviewer asked her, oh, okay, where are you out to get him now that he snitched? And she was like, nah, I couldn't do it because I'm friends with them. But you literally killed a man that you claim was a snitch. Y'all, it's something more to that. I don't care what she said. She killed that man for something else. Like I say, he probably was going to snitch on her or something, because that just don't make sense. You say you're not gonna kill him though, and he literally snitched on you. Like he full on snitched and ratted, told on your ass. So yeah. This, I swear, this talking about this case, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And it's crazy. And the interviewer asked her, like, would she kill again? And she said, if the opportunity arises, she hopes so. And then, y'all, this is the biggest damn kicker. Almost close to the end of the interview, why this woman say she should have killed her second victim, when she was talking about the victim in the armed robbery. Why she was like, I should have killed him too, but I didn't have time. I had somewhere to be. Yes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that man or whoever he was, literally, you better be thanking God, because shit, if sis had the time, he would have been off too. Okay, y'all, so I'm pretty much done twisting up what I'm gonna twist up. I just twisted up, refreshed the ones in the back and like kind of along my hairline or whatever. I'm not really too much effed up about the ones in the center, because yeah. So what I'm gonna actually probably do now is just go ahead and spray my whole head and just apply some of this to my whole head, and like make sure to like practice on it, make sure to apply some to the ends. Yeah, that is pretty much it for the case, y'all. Honestly, I just like, I know I'm pretty sure some majority of y'all have already seen the case, but like honestly, what are y'all thoughts on it? Like, when y'all first heard about this, do y'all think she should have gotten the death penalty, or should she be where she is, which is in a prison? Or do y'all feel like she should have been in a mental institution instead of a prison? Like, I want to know y'all's thoughts, honestly. It's just another one of those cases where, I mean, the guy had to basically like lose his life for nothing. I honestly feel like majority of this stemmed from just mental issues and just drugs. I mean, just from both parties. Like he possibly could have lied, but even then, I really don't see it. But I mean, who knows? He could have maybe just been on, you know, off the drugs and just lied about being an informant. I mean, it was said that he did go to prison, and he had mental issues as well. It's just really tough. But yeah, she was just saying like he just told and snitched, or told that he snitched to the wrong person. And yeah, so she just felt and took it into her hands and felt like she needed to off him. and take care of them. All right, you guys, so I am pretty much done with touching up my hair and refreshing it. Like I say, I'm just twisted a few of them so it wouldn't look just too frizzy. And I'm probably gonna go ahead and oil my hair. But yeah, so that's pretty much all for this case today though. Please make sure that you comment on this video because I want to know y'all thoughts. And like for real, what was y'all reaction when you first watched this interview? If y'all haven't watched the interview, go watch the interview and then come back and give me your response to the interview. Cause y'all, like, when I watched it, I was legit shocked. And I was just like, I ain't gonna lie, I said a whole lot, damn. Like, sis is cold-hearted. I mean, to the core, didn't give a fuck, no remorse. I mean, she basically said if she had the opportunity to do it again, she would. So I guess apparently she's finna rid the world of all the snitches, I guess. By the way, y'all, this product is really, really good for twist outs. Well, when you're doing mini twists. Especially, it's a good product if you don't want to use anything else. I personally like putting a gel on top of this because it just gives it that extra hold and it lasts a little bit, a few more days longer. But yeah, definitely it's a good moisturizer and like a gel at the same time. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Definitely do not forget to like this video, make sure to comment and subscribe to my channel because it helps the YouTube algorithm a lot for me. And thank you so much, you guys. I really do appreciate every single one of y'all. Holidays is coming up. I hope you guys are enjoying your time off if you are off for Christmas break. I love you guys and I will see you in my next video.